rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna fight. I got my hands on your body, so tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, 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 like
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on in and joining me today. A little late, a little technical difficulties, but nothing that we cannot handle, nothing we can't handle. Thank you so much for coming in and being on time. Hey, Dorothy, I see you, girl. Hey, House of Entertainment. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, Jaden, how are you today? Thank you for coming in. Hey, Dolly, how are you today? Thank you guys for coming in. I am your girl, Carol. Welcome to Today's Talks with Carol. Hello, Mrs. VSN. Thank you so much for coming in, joining me today. Um, yes, girl, the frame's matching today. Um, so, welcome to Sunday's Talks with Carol. Today's conversation, we're going to talk about the impact that social media has on society, the impact it has on us. Um, Remember, guys, this live event that I do every Sunday at 1 p.m., we get into really deep discussions, and everyone's opinion is important. We practice kindness in this chat. So let's go on and get into it. Hey, Twin Status, thank you so much for coming in. Be careful driving, because I know you guys are driving. So be very careful while you're driving and listening. Just listen. Don't conversate. Um, so let's get into this conversation about social media, right? Social media is our world, basically. Everything we do revolves around social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Social media is everywhere. Now, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What is it doing to us as a society, um, on a whole? And me being pretty new to YouTube, I am experiencing social media in a way that I have not experienced it before. Hi, Jaden. Thank you so much for coming in. I don't know if I said hi already. But I know that I am learning things about social media that I never, ever knew really existed in the world of social media. Um, so when we talk about some of the advantages of social media, yes, it gives us the ability to communicate, to stay in touch with our friends, our families. Facebook is a wonderful tool that we use to stay in communication, Duo, all of the other social media platforms that we have, yes, they allow us to communicate with our families, which is definitely an advantage. It's a wonderful thing. It helps us to raise awareness on issues that we may not have even known existed in the past or in the present. So, yeah, there's some wonderful things about social media. We can have this conversation because of social media. I can talk to 10, 15 people at a time because of social media, which is a great thing as long as I'm sharing positive information. Social media allows us to reach people all over the world. We talk to people in different countries that we never knew that we could have access to. We realize that there are more similarities than there are differences because we have started to have communications with people around the world. Businesses are able to market themselves all around the world at minimal expense. So, yeah, social media is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Um, the best thing about social media is that I can be doing this event right now at 1 p.m., but people around the world can watch it 24 hours a day. So it allows us to connect at any time, no matter what. It gives us an opportunity to share our expertise in areas that we did not know that we could share. People are showing you how to do DIYs. I remember I had a leak in my water line. And I went on YouTube and Googled and found out what I needed to do, how to cut the pipe, what tool I needed to put a stoppage on the pipe. So, yeah, I mean, social media is a wonderful platform. YouTube itself is a wonderful, wonderful platform as long as we are using it in the right manner. Now, of course, there are so many ways that people are using social media that's not a positive thing. And we're going to get into um, some of those things later on in the chat. But some of the most important things is that we are learning to educate ourselves. We get information that we never had at our feet. I mean, do you remember when we had to look at encyclopedias? I mean, look, some of you may not remember that, but growing up, I had to go through an encyclopedia to get information. So now it's just right at your fingertips. Any information that you need, it's right there. So, yeah, I mean, I think social media is a very good thing until we start looking at some of the ways that this has, social media has become a negative, ways that it has become a disadvantage to us. And talking to individuals and yes, Dolly, the encyclopedia. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Encyclopedia. And some of you have got quiet about that, but I know for a fact some of you know about that encyclopedia. I know you know about those encyclopedias that your parents got from the supermarket because they bought this or they bought that. So, look, I'm an encyclopedia baby, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But the fact that we can get so much information right at our fingertips, I absolutely love it. But, but those same fingers that can get that information right, Dolly. I forgot all about the dictionary. Yes, and to be honest with you, working with children, I realized that it was so difficult to teach them how to use an encyclopedia because the way they're teaching is so different now. How to use a dictionary, I meant to say, because the way they're learning is different now. So yeah, we used to have to go into the dictionary and look up a word, write down the definition of the words. Well, now all the kids have to do is Google the word, and they're gonna get everything that we had to spend 10. I mean, homework vocabulary used to take you about an hour and a half looking up 10 words, writing the definition down. So yeah, in a lot of ways, social media is absolutely a blessing. It's absolutely a blessing. But the same with the same quickness that we use those fingers to get information or Google something, whether, whatever it may be, what's the weather today? What's the weather in Chicago? Whatever that may be, we are now, not us, but some people are using it in a way that is not so good. Um, you have the bullies that are on every platform, every social media platform that you could possibly think of. We have people that are spewing out negative information, spewing out hate, um, bullying. There's so many disadvantages to social media as there are good advantages. So yeah, Dolly says, I feel that social media or the internet in general has made research so much easier, but that's a gateway to so much misinformation. Yes, Dolly. And that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about in terms of the disadvantages. So yes, the internet is filled with so much information, so much knowledge, so many things. But what about the incorrect information, right? So we have all of these news media, um, all these news information platforms that are not necessarily giving us the truth on a lot that's going on in the world. I mean, let's just think back to less than a year ago when we were going through the election process. And there were so many platforms on social media that was sending out so much negative information, so much information that just really was not true. So, one of the things when we're doing or um, looking up or researching information, especially when we're looking at breaking news or things that have just come out, you have to really be careful and do your homework. There have been several occasions where a lot of celebrities there were posts going up that they had died, or and come to find out they haven't died. So you have to really check your sources when it comes to the information that you're getting off of the internet. So when we talk about, I do have notes here, guys, because I won't be able to remember everything. So when we're talking about your sources, be careful about the many different sources that you use on the internet, because so many of them um, give out false information. Now, something that I want to talk about is the algorithm, right? And every social media platform has algorithms. And those algorithms filter out ads. They filter out they filter in things that you're interested in, and they're supposed to filter out things that you're not interested in. But also remember that that same algorithm can block information from reaching you. So there's some things that you may need to be aware of that they won't feed in your algorithm. So social media, the algorithms of Google and all these different platforms, and primarily Google because they're the big giant. But a lot of the algorithm and the things that you receive are not really in your control. So that's something that a lot of people aren't aware of, or you wonder, how did they know that I was just looking at getting a new bedroom set, or how did they know? Why all of a sudden am I starting to get all these ads coming in for bedroom sets when I just started looking? And I don't remember what it was, but I was talking about something. And I kid you not, when I went on my phone, there was an ad for something that I was talking about. And that scared the crap out of me, because I was like, okay, so now we really know our girl, is listening. She hears everything that we say, and it feeds into the internet and it goes into social media. So yes, Dolly, you're saying the algorithm doesn't help either. The algorithm will lead you to the answers you want to see and not what the truth may be. For absolutely, Dolly. And that's what I was saying. I remember when we were going through the election a few months ago, and you would get whatever information they chose to feed to you. So you really have to be careful about how you're asking your questions on social media, how you're formulating your questions, and the type of information that you're choosing to look up, because it won't always give you the information that you are needing, because there's certain things that we need. Um, Even when we were going through the BLM movement, um, a lot of times we didn't get the information as we should have gotten it. It's based on what you have been searching for um, in your searches. So we have to really be careful about it, and that's one of the disadvantages of social media, in my opinion. The other disadvantage, which is the biggest one for me, is the amount of time that we are spending on social media. I mean, just think about how often We can't even leave the house without our phone because we feel like we're disconnected from the world. Hey, At It Again Media, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Welcome on in. We are talking about the effects and the impact that social media has on us as a society. So welcome on in. Um, so yeah, the time that we spend on social media takes us away from a lot of important things. And we are, as a people, as a society, are so wrapped up in social media, we forget that real life exists outside of the platforms. Like if you look, I know they have this thing on your phones now where it tells you how much time you're spending online. And if that is not a wake up call to some of us, it should be. Um, People are texting instead of picking up the phone and talking. I mean, it's literally becoming a problem to have a conversation with someone. Um, Engaging in conversation, it seems to be a major problem. Um, and again, what you are consuming on social media, depending on whether you're looking at positive things or negative things, it can affect how you operate on a day-to-day basis. Thank you, Dolly. So we have to be really careful about how much time we're spending on social media. And yes, I know a lot of us are doing our work and employing ourselves. We are making money on social media. So, yes, that's an advantage. But we also have to be careful about how much time we are giving to the screen. How much time are we spending on Facebook? How much time are we spending on YouTube? How much time are we spending on Twitter? Does everything we do in our lives have to be a part of the social media platform? I mean, when you really look at how social media has taken over, there are there are parts of some of my friends and family that I really would have preferred not to have known. Had it not been for social media, I may not have known certain things about certain people. And honestly, maybe I didn't want to know those things. But because social media is such a big thing, everybody has to be in it, everybody has to be a part of it. Your lives are just being taken over by social media. So I really think that we have to. Hey, Tawana. Hey, sis. How are you today? Thank you so much for coming in, Tawana. Thank you. So I think that we really need to watch how much social media we're taking in, right? And even when we're watching how much social media we're taking in, we need to start being kind. We need to think about, because we talk about how quick and how easy it is to Google something or say, okay, I need to find this or I need to find that. But also, when you see someone's putting something on social media, how quick are we to respond negatively? How quickly are we to say things on social media behind the keyboard that we normally wouldn't say if we were looking at that person eye to eye or face to face? So we have to be careful about how we are interacting on social media. There's so much bullying and manipulation and nastiness that goes around on this internet. That, to me, is the greatest disadvantage of social media. Um, I think that we are losing ourselves, we are losing our families because we're spending so much time on social media. So Dolly says, I agree, Carol. I don't know if you noticed, I've taken a huge step back. I did notice that, Dolly. I definitely noticed that. I'm becoming a huge advocate for my own peace. The constant posting and subconsciously trying to keep up with everyone, it's a bit much. And you're right, Dolly, because you lose yourself and your family in it. Um, I myself had to take a look at how much time that I am giving to social media. And yes, if you're giving so much time to social media, you're lacking in other areas. Something else is not getting the attention it deserves. Somewhere you're lacking where you probably should not be because social media has become the priority. So yes, Wanston says, right. Are you using social media for the right reason? And yes, absolutely, because some people, yes, yes, House of X, yes, some people use social media for the wrong reason, and that can be the biggest problem. I think that when you, and this is my personal opinion, I think when you decide to come on social media, that you should have a purpose. You should have a vision and you should have a purpose of what it is that you want to create. What message is it that you want to convey? Um, is it positive? Is it good? Is someone going to get something out of what I'm saying? Do I have a teachable moment? Is there something, a positive that's going to come out of this? And I think that if you find that no, you don't have positive message to portray, or you're coming on here and it's not positive, or you're coming on here to belittle people, or you're looking for all the wrong that people are doing instead of all the right, then I think that sometimes you have to take a step back and figure out how can I revamp or do something differently. Um, because it's important. It is important because remember, whatever you put out into the universe, you're going to get back in. So, the same thing with social media. If you put positive out into the atmosphere, then you're going to be rewarded with good karma coming back to you. And I was in Be the Difference Clothing live this morning, and she talked about karma. And when it comes to social media, that's important because you want to be careful about what you're putting out. You want to be careful about how you're interacting with what I consider coworkers. If we all have social media platforms, we're coworkers. So we want to be careful about how we're interacting with each other. We want to be careful about being kind, just being kind. And when you think about the word kindness, and if you just start to use that in what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, you'll be okay. I just don't think you can go wrong. Um, and like I said, I'm pretty new to YouTube, but I noticed on this platform there's so much bullying, so much negativity. If I go down and scroll through the things that I see, there's a lot of negativity. Probably I see more negativity than positivity. And that's what we were talking about earlier about the algorithm. So you want to start focusing on the positive so that you will start to get that positivity in your algorithm and you won't be fed the negativity. Dolly says, yes, facts, House of X, facts. Also, one part of social media that turns me off is that you can't have a genuine conversation with people because people misconstrue normal back and forth as arguing, and it goes south from there. Yeah, listen, you cannot have constructive conversation. It is almost impossible. I mean, the fact that on this platform we have to have mods because we have trolls that come in just to spew negativity or hatred on a platform, it just doesn't make any sense. But also, I think that comes from us utilizing the social media platform so much that we don't have genuine conversations. So one of my pet peeves is texting too much because sometimes when you text, your tone of voice doesn't come through, your message is not conveyed the way you want it to be. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful about how you're texting. But people don't know how to have genuine conversation anymore because they're not. Their fingers are walking, their fingers are talking. Yes, Twana, the bullying is crazy. The bullying has become, and I don't want to say it has become because it's been this way for a while, but I think because I am on the platform more than I have been in the past, I see a lot of it, and it hurts my soul. It hurts because you don't want to see people just hurting people because they can. If I see a channel and I'm not interested in the channel, no harm, no foul. I'm just not going to watch it, but I'm not going to hit a thumbs down. And I'm not going to say anything negative on your platform. If I don't like it, I won't watch it. Will I still support you? Probably. I will still be a subscriber to you. I will still try to give you a view if it's something that I see from a day to day. If I see something that I'm interested in, yes. But that's another thing. We're being so pulled in so many directions on social media. It's difficult to be honest about what it is you enjoy watching and what you don't watch. Hey, Mel, I know you're going to catch the replay. Thank you so much for even coming in, though, girl. Thank you. No, no worries. Enjoy the family. Um, and yeah, the trolling is just too much. The trolling is absurd. And I don't even understand it, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure it out. The trolling, the doxing, and I'm trying to figure that out. But I think it's easier for people to do it because they are behind the screen and not in front of a camera. Um, yeah, so I think that we do. At It Again Media says, to be honest, I come to these platforms looking for laughter and useful information that can help me on my YouTube journey. And At It Again Media, I'm the same way. If I find a channel that makes me laugh, because I love to laugh, but if I find something that makes me laugh, or um, just someone that has good conversation or good information, or if I can genuinely feel that person's personality coming through the screen, oh yeah, I'm there. I'm there all day as much as I possibly can. um I go to channels because I like inspiration. If I go to your channel and I like what I see, or I like what I hear, or my spirit just genuinely just starts to become attracted to a person, then that's where I'm going to be. But I won't be pushed into going someplace that I'm not interested in going. And over time, I'm finding that I'm running into more and more content creators that have really good positive content, or people that I can relate to. And when I say relate, I mean people that I feel like if we were all at a park or something together, that we would probably start a conversation, and we would be like, "Listen, let me have your number. Let's talk a little bit more." That's what I look for when I'm on social media. Not that I'm going to troll anybody or call and say, "Listen, no, I'm not going to do that. That I'm not going to do." But that I'm just talking about a feeling. Like some people I go on, I'm like, "Listen, that's my friend in my head. That's my girl. That's my partner in my head." Um, so Dolly says, okay, so you're telling Tawana that you've lost, I have lost of my disagreements with people I've known for years. There's an element of natural conversation that's missing, which causes misunderstandings. Yeah, Tawana, the trolls love a YouTube fight. They do, but it's a fight you can't win because whatever you say, they're just going to say something negative behind it. So, I'm not fighting with anyone behind a camera. I'm not going to do it. If I can't have a conversation with you, or we can't discuss our difference of opinions, then I'm not going to do it. Um, so it's not a good thing, but it is what it is. Um, so I want to talk about how do we make sure we don't get caught up in the negative things that social media can bring about. How do we not get so caught up in it? What can we do to um, keep ourselves on the right side of social media? Yeah, yeah, Dorothy, they do exist. You're right. They exist on and off social media. You are absolutely right, Dorothy. They do. Um, they do. But the ones that are off of social media that you can have a day to day with, yeah, you can handle them. You can. I'm sorry, guys, my allergies are bothering me. You can deal with them and you can have a conversation with them, and you still have the ability to walk away. The thing about the trolls on social media is they hide, and then you block, and then they come back under another account. So it's just, I think it's weird. I just think it's weird that if you don't know someone, that you can just start disliking them or just spewing out hatred and negativity. So, as always, I want to focus on I like to focus on awareness of certain issues on this channel. We want to make sure that people are aware of both the good and bad, but I also like to focus on how or what we can do to make things better, or how we can um, turn certain things around. And this is for us individually, right? One of the things that we should start to do is to limit our time on social media. And I know for some people it's difficult. I know it's not easy. For me, I'm really trying to expand on my channel, and I'm trying to get my information out to as many people as possible. And what does that say? That says, okay, well, you need to be on social media a lot more than you are. Um, yes and no. Yes and no. I never want to lose who I am in the process, right? And we have to be careful about that. We should set, just like any job. I ran my own business for over 30 years. And there was a time, I had a time set aside of when I was going to work and when I was going to play. When my business closed up at 6 o'clock, that was it. I didn't talk to clients after 6 o'clock because that was my time. That was my family time. I didn't answer calls. I didn't take calls. I didn't take text messages. I would not respond until the next morning when my business opened up. That was just what it was. And it should be the same way with social media. You set your working hours. These are the hours I'm going to be available. And after that, I have to shut it off. We have to start limiting the time that we are on social media, and also limiting the taking stock of what we subject ourselves to in our social media accounts, right? Being careful. Listen, I've had people on my social media that every time I turned on my phone, there was negativity, there was arguing, there was cursing, there was showing too much skin that didn't make me comfortable. And so the good thing for me is that I could remove them from my Facebook. That's the good thing. And it is a choice that we all have. So you don't always have to take in such negativity. So just remember that you are in control of your social media platforms. You can take people off of your platform that are making you feel uncomfortable, or if you're feeling annoyed when they come on, that's something that you can do. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. Protect your peace, damn it. Yes, protect your goddamn peace because it's yours to protect. And if I go on my social media platforms and I'm feeling drained immediately, then something's wrong with my platform. That means that I have to start removing people from that platform. Be kind, be kind to people. Treat people how you would want to be treated. Don't get on your social media platform and start cursing people out when you know damn well that if that person was in your face, you wouldn't do it. Be kind. Before you hit the send button, look at what you have said. And we've all been guilty of it. I've been guilty of it. I have going on a texting rampage like that, but by the time you send it, you can't rescind it, you can't take it back. So be kind when you are talking to people on social media. One rule of thumb I have is if I don't have anything nice to say, I don't say nothing at all. Zip. Silence is my best friend. Silence has become my best friend. And unfollow is definitely the go-to. Yes, Twana, hashtag protect your peace. Protect it. Because if you don't, nobody else is going to protect it. You have to know when enough is enough. And if you need to take some days off, take some days off. There's no rule, there's no law that says you need to be on social media every single day. Take some time out. Take some time out. Tawana said my block ministry is tight in the village. Yes. Yes, block, delete. No room for the nonsense. Absolutely not. Um, spend time. being in the presence of your family and friends. Stop texting your friends and pick up the phone and call them. I have 3 or 4 people that there's no doubt that I'm going to speak to them, if not on a daily basis. Before that week is out, we're going to have a phone conversation. There becomes a time when texting is not, it's not good enough. I need to hear your voice. I need to hear that my people are okay. So we need to, hey Tanya, good to see you, girl. Good to see you. But we need to really get back to conversating, setting up family time. Listen, this nonsense where you have a family and you got 4 kids and all 4 of the kids have their phones at the dinner table. Come on, we can take a half an hour without social media being present. We need to start really trying to do it. Even when we're at dinner with our friends, we have our phone out. Why? My business is you. We're together. Let's actually spend time in the presence of each other. Let's talk to each other. Dorothy says, my mother taught me nothing good to say, don't say shit. Exactly. And we raised up on that. We raised up on it. So I am a firm believer in that. I'm telling you, there's so many times that I have my this here be saying one thing, but my mouth be like, don't say it. Don't say it, girl. Don't. So I have learned to keep my mouth shut, not to say nothing negative. No phones at the dinner table. That's it. That's it. Everybody welcome Tanya in. We haven't seen Tanya in a minute. Welcome in, Tanya. Love you, girl. No phones at the dinner table, absolutely. Dolly said, I need that energy. Genuine connections can't happen by texting all of the time. Texting is supposed to be for, we forgot about that, for convenience, not every second of the day. Listen, listen. I will send out good mornings to my people. I will send out good mornings, but that does not mean I'm not going to call you at some point in the day. Y'all know how I do. I'll be like, hey, what you doing? Oh, you thought I was, y'all know how I do. I call, I check on my people because I think that we have to still have conversations with each other because I don't really know how you're doing because you're on. Sometimes I'm feeling like crap. But if you text me and go, hey, girl, how you doing? I'll be like, blessed and highly favored. I'm good today. Don't mean I am, but if you talk to me, you may be like, oh no, that my girl don't sound too good. You okay, girl? And that's why we have to genuinely continue to connect with people and have conversations. Um, Even in me meeting people on social media more and more and having conversations, I'm realizing some of these the co-workers are really checking up on people. They really genuinely care about each other. And that's what we have to do. We have to remember that we can use social media for business or whatever we need to use it for research, whatever. But we have to remember that we're humans and it is a natural part of life that we have human connection with each other. Um, Remember to do the things that you love to do. Don't stop doing those things because you're consumed with social media. Go out for a walk. Last night, my daughters wanted to go out for a walk with those fur babies. And I said, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And they was like, Mom, please come on, let's go, let's go. And I remember getting ready to pick up my phone. And I said, girl, what you need? You don't need the phone. You're going for a walk. So we have to try to recondition ourselves to not have a phone plastered by our side for every moment of the day. Get back to entertaining. I know that the C-19 has been out here. I know that, but your closest friends that you know that you're pretty safe with, wear your mask, but get back to being social with each other. Go over, do a dinner with your friends and sit down and have a girls' time with your girls. Let's start getting back to doing those things. Get on the phone and talk to your girls for an hour and talk about nothing. You know, just conversate. Um, and one last thing that I want to say is shut down your devices. at least an hour before bedtime. Because as a health and wellness coach, I deal with a lot of clients that have issues with sleeping. They have problems staying asleep through the night, and they're having a difficult time with it. So just uh, keep keep in mind that when you have these devices on, including your TVs, your television, that they affect your sleeping pattern. So one of the suggestions that I make to my clients, and it has been shown to work, and I myself have done it. Um, shut your shut your devices down. Because if you are if you are in your bed with your phone, and I'm saying this because I've been guilty of it, you go lay down in your bed and you have your phone next to you, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting ready to go to sleep. But you can hear when the message vibrates on your bed. So you're not fully asleep. When you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you're checking your phone. Come on, God. Come on, we gotta stop. What is going to happen if you don't get that last message from your girlfriend and she says laughing my ass over? What happens if you don't get the message? Nothing. So, we have to really start to disconnect. It's not healthy to be so connected to our phones all day, every day. It's not healthy. We have got to stop, smell the roses, enjoy life. Enjoy life. Yes, Dolly, disconnect from your technology. It ain't the devil, but it might as well maybe. And hmm, think about it. Just think about it. If you have something that has that much of a hold on you, is it really healthy? It's not healthy. We can't have a telephone have such a hold on us. Now, granted, your phones are very convenient. I'm not saying go to work without your cell phones. No. But I'm saying, how come when we're home and like you're home and every single room you go in, you must have your phone on your hip? No. Leave your phone by your nightstand so that you can focus on the task at hand, whether it's doing your laundry or cleaning or cooking. You can text that person back a half an hour later. It's crazy because when people text, you feel the need to respond immediately. And then when a person doesn't respond back immediately, it's like, oh, well, what is she doing? Why didn't she answer my text? Maybe she's in the bathroom. Like we've got to start really honing in on how much of a negative impact social media is having on us. So At It Again Media says this topic has genuinely made me realize that I create content for family members. I have never met that on social media. And my videos is a way for them to see and hear me to go with phone calls. At It Again Media, then that's great because we need to really figure out why we're on this platform. What is it that we intend to get from the platform, and what is it that we're giving on the platform? I used to say the same thing about Facebook. Facebook was really all about family. It really was for me to keep in touch with family because I have family all across the country, and that was my way of keeping up, seeing when this one had a baby and that one had a baby. But what happened to picking up the phone? Why don't we do that? Because now we see what they're doing on social media, but we don't bother to pick up the phone to call and speak to a person and find out how they're doing. All we're doing is looking at them on Facebook. No interaction, no nothing. Just looking at what they're doing. It's crazy. Um, so to want to say, ain't nobody trying to contact me in the middle of the night. They better be dying. I know, but we still leave these phones on. I know nobody's contacting me in the middle of the night. And if they are, it's probably bad news that I don't need to hear in the middle of the night anyway. But, um, we still do it, even though we know who's calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning? Nobody's calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning. So why must I keep my phone on the charger at that? So Tanya says, me too, just to keep connected to family and friends that live outside of my area. Right. Listen. like I said in the beginning of this conversation, social media has some really great has a really great impact in a lot of areas. There's a lot of advantages to us having social media as long as we don't start to abuse them or overuse them. One of the best things about social media is that we can stay in contact with family and friends. We can communicate with each other. We can see each other on FaceTime. That is an excellent thing, or Google Duo for some of you Android people. Um, so yeah, so these are things that are important. That you broke up with Facebook. You broke up with Facebook. I hear you. Um, Dolly says, right. I have relatives who legit get upset if you don't respond to them right away. Then they will call other family members to gossip about you based on why they assume you're not. Exactly. Exactly. But they will text you at that, not even a phone call, they're texting you. But I just hope that, I mean, bringing this to um to Sunday's Talks with Carols today, I thought it was a good topic to discuss because we're so wound up in it, and sometimes we're not realizing just how caught up we are in our social media. So sometimes we just need a little, a little nudge on our shoulders just to say, girl, pull it back a little bit. You're doing too much. And for me, when I thought about the subject, I knew that it was something that I really needed to take heed to myself. I really need to um, start really figuring out what hours I'm going to legitimately be on social media. I know that you will burn out if you don't get a hold of it, if you don't figure out when I'm going to be on social media, when I'm not going to be on social media, when am I going to get back to the things that would make me truly happy. Now, for some people, being on social media makes them truly happy. But you also have to really look deep within yourself and live in your truth, because sometimes it's not that being on social media is making you happy. Sometimes it's because we need to make a dollar, or we're trying to earn a certain amount of living. So it's not always about um, entertainment for some people, and it's not always about what they enjoy doing. But for me, my personal opinion is, for me to decide that I'm going to be in a business, I have to be passionate about it. And for me right now, today, I am passionate about bringing topics of discussion to you guys that will inspire you, that will motivate you, and that will bring awareness to you. That's what Sunday's Talks with Carols is about. It's about bringing awareness, letting people know that they're not alone. Because some issues we deal with, we think we're alone, and we're not. We're not. So many of us have the same issues, but we just haven't talked about them, or we haven't brought them to the forefront. Thanks, Dolly. Dolly says this is a great topic and will cause some introspection. Thank you. Um, Tanya says people will give more time to social media than they give to God or family. And that's what was saying, Tanya. I think it's important that we look at the things that are going to really make us happy, and that we get back down to the basics. We get back down to the basics. Um, and, in terms of God and family, today is a Sunday. Today is a Sunday, and I'm aware that today is a Sunday. You know, and some people are a lot of people are on the platform today, for whatever reason, because remember, we can all, worship our God the way we choose to worship him. But I like coming on the platform on a Sunday because I feel like Sundays are a day of relaxation. I feel like people are kind of winding down from the hustle and bustle of the week. So that's why I bring these conversations to you on Sundays. And because these conversations are positive, there's no negativity. There's something for you to think about as your week is progressing. And that is my intent. That's my intent. So back to old school, back to basics. We have to get back to them. Listen, social media is the wave of the future. It is the wave of today. We're not going to get away from it, but we can make a decision as to how much social media is going to um, control our lives. And we must remember family, friends. We can't forget them because we're so engrossed in social media. So, guys, I have had a great time with you today. Let me just say this. Let me say this. I so appreciate you guys for coming in because there's something else that you can be doing, but you choose to come in and spend an hour with me on Sundays. I am going to put up a poll. Well, let me just do it right now while I have you guys here. When I started Sundays Talks with Carols, originally I was going on at 3 p.m. and I changed it to 1. I don't know why, but tell me in the chat 1 p.m., 3 p.m. Which would you prefer? Just can you let me know quickly? 1 or 3 p.m. What do you think is a better time? What time is a little bit more convenient for you? Oh, thank you guys. I love you guys too. I do because you guys show up. You guys show up for me. I tell you, y'all show up, and you have no idea how much I appreciate you guys coming in. Okay, so the 1 p.m. looks like it's working. Okay, okay, I like that. Okay, so we're gonna stick to 1 for now, because I was really gonna change it back to 3, but it looks like 1 is working. So I appreciate you guys. Remember, if you have a topic that you want me to talk about, something you want to discuss, just hit me up. Hit me up, DM me on my Instagram, it's Carol's Coaching Corner. Let me know if there's something that you guys want to discuss or you want to bring more awareness to, let me know. And we're going to talk about some relationship issues. Dorothy, you sleep at 3. We're going to talk about some relationship things again, because I know that's a favorite topic of many. So I have some things I'm thinking about doing, and we're going to talk about them. Oh, I know you like the bracelets, Dorothy, because you damn near bought me out of all the bracelets. I don't even have any more stones because of you. But thank you. Thank you. If any of you guys are interested in the bracelets and the jewelry that I do, go on over on the Instagram page to Carol's Gems and Things, or I do have a website, Carol's Gems and Things. Go on over, check it out. I can do custom, whatever it is that you're interested in. I will be putting out more information on Carol's Gems and Things because the holiday season is coming up and it's a busy season for me. So I am not going to hold you guys anymore. I so appreciate you guys for coming by. Remember, guys, if you can dream about it, you damn sure can be about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.